Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. I know the pandemic has gotten worse, and I really hope all of you are staying home and staying safe. Because most of you are home, I decided to come out with a podcast and named it Get Candid with Grishma Singh. Today we have with us a very special guest. Her name is Chetana B, who is an entrepreneur from Bengaluru. She's also a passionate coach, a placement manager, a single mother, and a podcaster. Join me as we discuss about education, coaching, being a single mom, and having a balance between professional life and personal life. The podcast is going to begin now. Hi, Chetna.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really a pleasure to have you on my podcast.
First of all, I should say thank you. It's my pleasure to be a part of your podcast.
Um, I feel very special today, and I am very sure that all my viewers out there are going to find this very insightful and they're going to love it. Without wasting any time, I'm just going to begin by asking you what inspired you or what led you to become a coach in the education sector?
Okay. So just to first of all, hello, big hello to all your audience. And coming to your question, I just to give a background of why I became a coach. I started working in my early 30s. In fact, I started working when I was 30 years, and I got a job in school, and I continued that journey that time. But during that tenure, like there was always a flair of counseling the students, speaking to the parents, understanding where they are stuck. So this, while doing this, I always used to enjoy that. I didn't realize that that time, but I was continuing doing during this period, whether it is in school or post that when I started working in an IT and all that stuff. I enjoyed counseling, and at the later stage by default I continued doing that. And when I started working in different companies, there also with my colleagues, they were so comfortable sharing with me about where they are stuck, what they have to do, all that stuff. And then I realized that I am an approachable person, and people look up to me for something. So that's the time I decided, okay, I think this is what it comes to me easily. And I feel that people also look up to me for that. And I started that.
Wonderful.
It was not like, it was not a planned thing, but over a period of time, when I started enjoying that, I think I got stuck with that.
I see this to be a calling for you because you started realizing that you were very easily approachable and people were happy to come to you and get coached. That's an
Yeah.
interesting one and that's wonderful. And I think that coaching in this era is very important, especially for students. So I know that you have worked with a lot of students. So what were your challenges when you would coach the students back in the time?
Okay, just to give you a background, like when I started working, when I told education sector, I started working in a preschool. So
Okay.
that age group was between 4 to 6 years, 7 years, that age group. And later in my career, I worked with students of like the age group between 15 to 21. So
Okay.
these were the two set of groups of students where I worked with. So first set of students, majorly it was to deal with the parents, to change the
Okay.
environment. It was not much of challenges in a sense. When I'm telling you, it is the kind of input, the kind of environment what the kid at that period played a very important role. So because they were that was very minor, but it is very important because until 6 years, 7 years, whatever we provide to the kid, that it remains for lifelong, because that is the period where the brain will be developing, right?
Absolutely.
So it's very important. The challenge the that time what I was facing was to counsel the parents more than the kids, because kids were just receivers that time. It is a very tender age. So coming to the next part of it, that is when I was working with NIT, the students, what I was dealing was between the age group of 15 to 21, 22, undergraduates basically. So there, the challenge was, none of the student had that clarity, what exactly they want, why they are studying science, why they are studying commerce, or why they have chosen any subject, in fact, for that. So 80% used to answer. So 80%, 75 to 80% of the students were chose whatever career because the parents wanted to do, whether it
Yes,
is engineering or whether it is commerce, whether it is science, because
I was
science
one
and
among them.
commerce.
I was one among
Okay.
that student.
Yeah, it's like it was the lack of clarity is one of the major factor, Grishma, when it comes to that undergraduate students. And they were just literally passing their life of precious 4 to 5 years of their life without knowing where they're heading to, right? And
Exactly.
that too they're putting their so much of effort in learning, understanding, which they are not sure what where they're heading to. Without knowing the destination, they're just traveling.
Yeah.
So, and post, that is one. And second thing is lack of decision making
Mm.
when they have a choice to decide. I know that many of the students would have entered by mistake or by somebody's guidance, by parents guidance or by siblings, or somebody else in the family has done software engineering and settled in abroad. That person would have guided them, no, you do this, you finish your engineering, do this course, you get a job, right?
Mm.
So they would have entered, right? So post entering, also they would have come across with people like us or people like somebody who would have guided them. If you're not enjoying what you're studying, so change it.
Yeah.
That time they have the fear of taking decision.
Yeah.
They have the fear, okay, I don't know anything about this because some may like apart from engineering, some may like numbers, they may want to do
Yeah.
commerce, right? Some may want to get into finance, not sure,
Yeah.
because when somebody guides to go towards there, that's the line, they hesitate, they're
Correct.
fearful, right? So second is again lack of decision making when they have a choice to choose, right?
Mm.
So I was in a situation, Krishma, that time, like even though I was doing counseling to the students, you
Mm.
can choose that or choose that, but
Mm.
again the ultimate choice is with the student, right?
Correct.
They have to take a decision.
Correct.
So it was like I can tell some 10 to 15% would have changed.
Mm.
But again, the other rest of the 70 85% of the students would still continue their journey of what they had started. So these few challenges, what I feel that people, again, the lack of life skills, I can tell, which
Yeah.
is not been provided during the schooling period, or during post that. It's not only from school but also at home, the
Yeah.
environment what they are in, whether
Yeah.
the surroundings, their siblings, their relatives, what kind of talks they do, what kind of knowledge. Is it only about the marks they speak? It's only about the grades they speak? It entirely depends on all these things, Grishma. It's not see kids, when they're born, they don't know anything, right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
start learning, they start absorbing from the parents, they start absorbing from their siblings, they start absorbing from the relatives, friends, right? The kind of environment this kid goes through matters a lot in their decision of what actually they want to do. It's not only about profession, I'm telling here, or a career, but as a person, how they are growing, how they are evolving as an individual matters a lot. But in our culture, right, I don't want to generalize, but based on my experience, what I've seen during my work tenure of more than 15, 16 years, and me myself having my both the kids, I also did the trial and error with my son. Always they tell the first kid is a project, try and do that. And by the time I realized that, okay, why am I imposing my thoughts, my interests to him, right? And I did not do the same thing with my daughter. So the lack of awareness to the parents also matters here, right? They feel, they get carried away by the others.
Yeah. I
So
I agree with you.
that correct, correct, Rishma. So I feel this lack of clarity, decision making, and choosing when they have the opportunities, how to grab it, right? And nowadays, I think kids have this instant gratification. I do this, I want to get the
Yeah.
thing stuff,
Yes.
get the
Uh,
things done.
these are definitely quite a few challenges that you have highlighted, which I also faced. It has I have also been working with a few students myself, and I was a student a couple of years back. The lack of
Yeah.
clarity, the lack of making decisions, and also a social pressure. And the society itself is like that because back then in my parents' generation, they were said the same thing. You do this, you get inside a government job, and your life is settled. Everyone spoke
True.
about settling down and having a secure job. No one spoke about any other options. And it is a true fact that in India we had more emphasized. It was emphasized mainly on becoming a doctor or an engineer. The options were
Yeah.
limited. We were not spoken about anything else. So that led to peer pressure. That led to giving into that particular that path where we did not have the choice to probably make our own judgments or also we did not have the exposure of people and coming in and telling us that these are the paths which is also available and you can take it up. So back then it was like that, but today I'm happy that that is slowly changing, and I understand that coaches like you play a huge role in it. In a small way or big way doesn't matter, but when
Yeah.
we have that push, when we have that confidence given to us,
Yeah.
I think we decide to start making our own decisions and our judgments and move forward. If
Very good.
and major part of India, major most of the students are facing the problem of making a choice, trying to understand what kind of opportunities are there, trying to understand what potential is inside of us. That's the major deal, right? So we don't have
Yeah.
this given to us at a very younger age, and you've been doing that for quite some time, and it's just an amazing thing that I believe it is. Be it kindergarten from 6 to 7, or be it coming to NIT where you've coached so many students. I'm sure that gave you a lot of insight and experience, and that wisdom that you have generated is definitely helping a lot of students even today. That is something that I believe in. Do you agree with it?
So yeah, I think a few of the students still are connected with me, and it's not for their career choice, it's not for their what they are doing, but it's for something. Uh, they need a person to listen.
Yes,
So they everybody needs to be heard, right? So that's what they look up to. Everybody needs that attention, everybody needs to be appreciated. So that's what a person as a coach or as a friend or as a mother, you can do it. It's not like somebody should have a coach title or that then only they can do that. But each and every person who are there among their surroundings can do it, right?
I agree.
Even for me, sometimes I need somebody to listen, somebody to hear me out, right? It's
Yes,
similarly with same with the kids. So
yes.
yeah, I think it was a wonderful journey, Grishma. In fact, I have enjoyed it thoroughly.
That's fantastic. So we've discussed about these major issues that we are facing right now in the society. So I have a question as to you as a coach. How did you deal with these situations? How did you ensure you gave a direction to the student? Did you counsel them? Did you go about telling them that these are the opportunities for you? Did you try to figure out their strengths and weaknesses? How was your approach towards the students?
So when I tell counseling, Grishma, it's more to understand what they have in their mind, right?
Okay.
To understand, first thing is to understand what exactly where they are currently, right?
Okay.
To understand right now, I was just telling, they don't have the clarity. They know what where they are standing. First, to
Correct.
understand where they are standing. The next thing is to help them out to get clarity on what exactly they want,
Okay.
right? So it's not like imposing that these are the things you have to do. No, it
Hmm.
is more of probing them to understand. It has to come out from their students itself,
Mind. Hmm.
what exactly they want, right?
Yeah.
Second is helping them to get clarity. And
Yeah.
during that process, I used to understand what is that it is stopping, whether it is parents or whether it is peer pressure or whether it is school or college. So
Yeah.
when I need to understand that factors, what are the obstacles which is coming their way to take that decision, we used to work on that obstacle. What can be
Okay.
done? So whether you can go and approach, and of course, definitely they can go and speak to the parents, they can go and speak to the siblings, or they can go and speak to their friends if that is the thing. But last, because going to school and college speaking to the teachers back was they were a little hesitant. So
Yes.
that's where when I used to bring in parents into the picture, tell them what exactly the kid is
Going.
where they are stuck, and then tell them and come out with the solution sitting with them. right?
Fantastic.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a process. It's not like, okay, I just understand, I'll tell you what is your problem, I'll ask Grishma what's your problem, where are you stuck, let me give the solution. It's not giving
No,
solution, it's making them understand where they're standing and how they can work, giving some direction, right? It's
yeah,
about individual things. Second thing is about the career options. So, what are the different career options based on their interests, based on their abilities, based on the skills what they have acquired?
makes
So,
sense.
usually when it comes to career options,
That's a very good approach that you have followed. For me, I thought it was always about solutions, but you made sure it is about understanding, and it's about getting an own direction, getting a direction of their own. That is mostly important instead of a person giving a direction to them.
career.
That's a very good point here that I would highlight. And to all the viewers out there, I would like to say that she has done a multiple things. She has been an awesome career guidance, and she's had an awesome career herself. She has worked in various domains along with the coach, and she's also been a podcaster. Now, my question to you, Chetana, will be, since you've had this experience in your career, I would like to understand from your end, how did you carry out this journey of being an HR, and also you've had work experience in various other domains. So can you tell the viewers how you took this approach and how you had the courage to even discover and work in these different domains?
Yeah, Grishma, my career was an interesting phase actually. So it's not like, okay, fixed, okay, this is what I've chosen, I'll grow in this path. It is definitely good if I choose HR, or if I choose to be a software developer, and what is the next levels, I'll become a senior software developer, then architect, then project manager, then it goes on. There was nothing which I had planned for myself, actually, to tell
Okay.
you, because I started working in a preschool. Initially in college Euro Kids for few years, then moved to some presidency group of schools. I would like to share one incident when I was working in school later. So post that, I took up a job at NIT, which was again into a counseling the students to give them the right direction on what technical skills they need to get a software, a good job, decent job. So I had no plans that I would be going to schools, then moving here. I just took up the jobs the way it came. Literally, I did not have any plan of going. I had no career direction or career path for myself. And later, when I got into NIT while counseling the students, I got to know a lot of career options which are available.
That's it. Yeah.
Actually, so actually, then I started working at NIT. When I was working, I had multiple roles. In fact, I was worked as a client relationship manager. I worked as a student employability counselor. I mean, I was conducting TTTs for Pan India. There were employees
Right.
who were the placement coordinators. And I also handled marketing. I also handled sales. And I also handled operations
Nice.
during this tenure, not knowing how it is going to help. I just took up the things which came in my way, right?
Nice.
I shifted to something called, I was 2 to 3 years, I worked in an HR firm. So there I got an exposure. Initially I joined as a training manager, but later on I moved into something called completely into HR. So that was again one more exposure for me. It was a good one, in fact, good 2.5 years worked there. And again, it was the journey moved on as and when it came, but there was always something within me. I just wanted to start on my own. So, if I have to look back, Grishma, all these experiences, the sales, marketing, client management, student mentoring, everything is working currently for my business. As an entrepreneur, if I have to speak, the experience what I got is helping me, because I got the exposure of all these things, right? So, but definitely for students, I would recommend them to explore the opportunities which is there in the initial few years.
Right.
Not because it is very important. It's not. I know that financial stability is very important. You
Absolutely.
have to stick to that. because nothing, you can't survive just by sitting and following your passion. I want to do that, but you have to be very clear with that first thing, that you have a stable income which is coming in. Then see that do a lot of side hustle in the weekends or in the late evenings. Start exploring the things. And
Experiment.
once you read, yeah, you have to experiment, because it's not that I am good at coaching, I'll stop at that. I'll be doing exploring multiple other things.
Yeah.
So during this, I think during this my work tenure, definitely I've and I think attended some lot of seminars, lot of workshops to explore the opportunities. I didn't know what is available there, right?
Right.
So which business would suit me, which were things where I can resonate. And I learned one good skill of networking there,
Nice. Yeah.
meeting to people, talking to strangers. Initial there, I used to hold myself, but that was again this experiment exploration phase taught me that also, right? It's
Right.
not
Right.
only that. See, in Bangalore, if you know that going from one place to other place is also a big experience.
It is.
Knowing which place, if I have to go to Whitefield, or if I have to go to Marathali, or some different place which I've not traveled. So going to that place, looking at that where it, so now of course Google Maps helps a lot, but back then I was not using all that. I used to just go on my own, ask people. That was also an experience for me, right? And the second thing is networking, speaking to strangers, taking their cards, get to keep connecting with them, right? So these skills comes only when you start exploring, and when you start taking actions is what, when you come to know, okay, this will work for me, and this will not work for me. This is what I'm enjoying, this is not, I'm not enjoying. You can segregate that. But if you stick to one, you will be focused on one thing, and you'll be doing it.
Yeah.
Exploration is mandatory, what I feel, Krishma, because you'll not know. You suddenly, after 10 years of your work as a software developer or as an HR, you realize that you're not liking, you like something in, you enjoy cooking. You can become a chef, or you can become a coach in the nutritionist. So we are not
Absolutely.
sure, because what I usually recommend to these freshers or this early, who are in their early career, is to explore the things what they really enjoy doing. If they're enjoying their current job, definitely good. So definitely good. Start focusing on that and upskill in that particular thing. Because learning shouldn't be a period because of your education. I think
Absolutely.
Jim Rohn never always tells that your formal education shouldn't stop you. Your self education is what gives you a fortune, right?
Very good
So
points
your
that
formal education gives you a certificate, okay, gives you a gives you a degree certificate, but your self education is what gives you a fortune. Whether
you.
you want to upskill for your current job, or whether you want to upskill for yourself as a work on your personal development, definitely the more value you add on for yourself, I think you can give the more same value wherever you're working.
That's right. That's right. Those are just fantastic points that you've added, Chetana. I think experimenting, exploring, and the earlier you start, it is better, is what I believe.
Yeah,
If we are
yeah.
just focused on one thing and you don't explore and start complaining about it, it's of no use. But very good points there. And I would like to add another quote where I think it was told by Steve Jobs: "You always connect the dots looking backwards and not looking forward."
Backwards.
So that's a wonderful example for your life, because all of the skills that you have learned previously in the journey has helped you in your career right now. So
Yeah.
that's just fantastic. And I would like to ask you this: that we all face failure in our life. It's a part of our journey and it helps us get better. But there are a few failures which is very difficult to cope with. Have you faced such failures in your life, and how did you deal with it?
Failures, there are a lot of failures, Krishma, because day in, day out, I mean, even if I have small things, I do fail a lot of times. There are huge, big failures also in my life. So, how did I cope up with that? Failures, I believe that failures is a part of anybody's journey. First
That
thing is, everyone has to accept that it's a part of your journey, and what is that you're going to learn from that failure is very much important. Whether you want to learn from it and then move forward, or whether you want to leave that and then move forward, it's fine. But you can't be bad in this. I mean, without,
Stuck.
okay, I'm not, I just failed in this very badly. Whether you have lost your money, whether you have lost your relationship, whether you have lost your health, anything, be it anything. But if you're with that thing, okay, you're still sitting and cribbing about it, you'll be not able to move forward, right?
That's right.
So one of the, I think, just to tell you, I think in during my work tenure, three times I've lost my jobs. Take
Okay.
me.
Okay.
So one was 2009, so once it was 2016, and later on it was in later after post that. So that was it's very common, right? I mean, thing to share that, okay, I lost my job, I just gave up. But it was not so easy to cope up with that, right?
Okay.
At that moment when I lost my job in 2009, I 3 months, I think I was 2.5 months I was at home,
Mm.
so looking out for jobs and parallelly doing or something else. But what made me realize that there was one more skill in me, which I realized, that is about coaching. I
Nice.
started doing freelancing to the corporates. So I am a base SaaS certified. It is a certification in analytics, and I started doing freelancing to the corporates on SAS. So that one thing I never explored. I was into operations, managing all this stuff, but I realized that I can be good in training too, right? So
Yes.
that failure, because that when I lost my job, that is the one learning which happened for me in my life, that I can teach. And
Done.
from then I started exploring. I started doing teaching, coaching, though I was mentoring to the students, but the coaching to corporates was totally a different experience. So like that, Grishma, every failure, there will be a lesson for you, there will be a learning for you. So, and accept it. And acceptance is first part. Accept that it is, you have failed, right? Second thing is, don't start working on it. Don't stick
Right.
to it.
Right.
Act on it,
Yes.
right? And fail fast, fail forward, and fail differently, not the same failures.
Yeah. So what happens is that sometimes we have the same failures being repeated, and people lose hope. People don't act on it. They get stuck there. So what would you say, and how do you think people can approach if they're stuck in a particular problem, and how can we cope with it?
One thing is, people, as I told, repeatedly do have the failures in the same failure, like doing the
Yeah.
same mistakes again
Yeah.
and again. So means that there is first thing which I can see from my point of view is that they are not enjoying the work what they're doing,
Right.
right? And second thing is, they enjoy being as a failure. They started playing that victim state. Okay,
Yes.
I am like this, I failed. And they need that sympathy. Again, it comes back to the same thing, Grishma, what I told. Everybody needs attention, everybody needs to be heard, everybody needs that someone to tell that it's okay, you can do it, right? Or
Yes.
there is a lack of love and attention, or
Yes.
lack of self love,
Self
I can tell you.
self
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Probably they put themselves down, low esteem issues. This can also be because of their environment that they grew up with, and that's why they're stuck in that
It's in
position.
one is they grew up, and the current environment what they're in matters a lot.
Yes.
The kind of people they hang around with. See,
Yes.
because you are an average of 5 people whom you spend the time with.
Yes.
So the more you spend time with the people who are more skilled or more knowledgeable or more, I think in whatever ways, are more good at speaking, listening, whatever. So you tend to learn from them. You obviously you will absorb the things which those people are doing.
Yeah.
But similarly, if you tend to spend the time with the people who always crib, who always complain, who always have some reasons to get that excuses, and who don't have any desires in life, you will be carried away with this. And people tell, okay, failure, right? You'll do next time, fine. People give that advice, but how not to do that failure is the people. If you're in this group, you'll get to know, okay, you've done this failure, what happened. They'll go into technicality, what are the things which you did this time. and what is the things which you did last time. They'll start comparing and they'll come up with solution. So try to be in this group rather than this group where
That,
they push you. Because I think if you have heard, as I was telling, the mastermind groups, or it's not like the mastermind groups, also hang around with the friends or people who uplift you, right, rather than push you down. See, some will show sympathy and but that will not help you, that will not lead you anywhere, right?
that's right.
So you'll be there in the same situation.
That's
So
right.
watch out of your environment, watch out with the people whom you anger on, and don't try to be act like a victim always. The more
Right.
you're in victim state, you'll feel that I mean, that will not allow you to come out of your comfort zone. It will
Absolutely.
push you to be okay, fine. It will be telling you, okay, you're fine, it will be better. But again, after some months, you do the same mistakes, being in the same comfort zone. What you have to do, because of that one failure, you have to put that little extra work to work on that particular failure, right?
That's correct.
So come out of your comfort zone, think differently, change your environment, hang around with the people who uplifts you. Definitely, I'm sure that you'll be able to come out of any failure. And failure is a part of the journey. First you have to accept it, but don't repeat the same mistakes again and again.
Yeah,
Once, twice, fine, twice, fine. But third time is a big alert, red alert for you that you're doing the same mistake. Third time, you have to definitely start working on it.
absolutely. Those are pretty
Hope
good
that
points.
hope that answered your
It did.
question.
It did. It did for sure. I think those are very good points. It's very insightful as well, which I'm going to keep in mind myself. And moving forward, what inspired me about you the most is the fact that you have your own podcast running for quite some time. And the best part is that you started on a topic called Her Voice.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful initiative. I would like to hear from you so that the viewers understand what the voice is about and how
Okay.
you've been running the podcast so far.
Okay. So I started my podcast last year in the month of May, because during lockdown, lot of ideas were coming, and this was the idea which came up last year. First podcast which I started was Impact and Influence. As I was just sharing with you that last during my work tenure, I was exploring a lot of things, what which business to do, how to do. I did not had. I used to go a lot of attend the seminars, workshops, and all, but never used to come and act on it, because I was happy with in my comfort zone. Okay, I'm going for job, I'm getting salary, it's fine. But always deep within that question was there, what has to be done? And I never got that clarity. And the thought of helping the entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start their business, who want to start on their own, who don't know, they have an idea but don't know how to start. So I thought, let me interview the people those have started their entrepreneurial journey. So that's how the Impact and Influence podcast I started last year June, and it's going well, and it's continuously being been able to help out to certain people who are in that confused state. And last December is what I was thinking about myself and my journey, and always, because everything starts from you. When you
Absolutely.
think about what are the challenges which you went through, where were you stuck in your life, what was the reason. So all these things were coming popping up once in a while. Then I thought this her voice thought came to me. See, being a woman, or I think you also, as an youngster, you would know that where people get stuck,
Yeah.
right? Especially as a woman, for me, I can share about my experience and the people whom I have seen. So basically, women don't try to express themselves, what they feel, what they want, why they're feeling so low, right? So they also need the people to be heard, and there are a lot
Right.
of things hidden within themselves, Krishma,
Right. Right.
which even for some basic things, they'll keep their family as priority, their kids as priority, their parents as priority, their boyfriends as girlfriends as I mean boyfriends as priority. So what is left to them? Their priority is last. Why is that? Why not you be your priority first? See, the unless and until you love yourself, you'll not be able to give the love to others,
I agree with you.
right?
Yeah. I agree.
Definitely, because especially it's a problem with mothers. Because me being a mother, I always thought that my kids are my priority. Definitely, they are my priority. But even I am priority myself first, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
this, Grishma, it's not so easy because I'm now speaking so confidently, so easily. But it was not easy for me. So it took me years to understand that, okay, I have, that is the responsibility. There is a responsibility part. There is a love and affection part. At the same time, the same thing has to be given to you,
That's right.
right? So all these thoughts were coming, in fact, and I thought, why not create a platform for all the women, girls, student, kids, all the women to share their voice, what they feel like sharing, whether it is when it comes to in Indian culture, as we're just sharing, girl after 25, okay, they start asking question, okay, well, why hasn't she got married? What is the problem? Why hasn't she settled down? And that these are the questions which they start asking, and immediately after graduation they start sending their alliances to the, okay, is this guy is fine, but they never ask the girl whether she's really ready to get married,
They don't.
right?
They
And
don't.
even I
Yeah.
went through the same thing. I got married at the age of 18 years.
Oh my God, that's way early. Okay.
That
In this
was actually, I
generation,
can tell it.
in
Sorry.
in this generation, if we do hear about someone getting married at the age of 18, our eyes go wide. But yeah, it happened. It's okay. It used to happen before. 18 was too early, but were you prepared for it? Is the
No,
question.
definitely not. Definitely, I was not prepared. No, but that's what I was telling you, right? Definitely, I was not prepared. There's something which I wanted to complete my graduation. Then I wanted to work, and then I wanted to get married. But it it came up because for me, we were taught that, okay, whatever parents tell, it's like we have to listen to them.
Obey them. Obey them and listen to them. Then you
Yeah.
are a good girl. Yeah. A good.
So
Yeah.
might be it comes to whether it is a marriage or taking decision in their career or taking decision in their studies, going abroad is a big question for now also for girls. If they have to go out, will they stay alone? How will they manage? Now also, if they take a room, will they be safe? Are they reached home
Good point.
before 9 o'clock? So
Yes.
all these things, right? So this platform will help the girls or the women to share that their little inner voice, what whichever part of their journey they want to share. So this is an initiative which I started since January, Grishma, and it's very close to my heart, and I enjoy doing this podcast.
That is just fantastic. And I love the concept. I think a lot of girls would open up and that would give them confidence as well. Because we all want to be heard. We all want to be understood. So I really, really appreciate you for taking this initiative. Please continue it and I wish you all the very best for the podcast.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so I have this one final question, and this is a personal one. I really have to ask you, how is it like to be a single mother and handle your professional life, your personal life, and how did you initially you found out that you're going to be a single mother? Now, how did you face that? So, can you please let us know? We would like to hear your voice with this question. Yeah.
Okay, see, I started working as I told you, at the age of 30, and that's where my career part started. At the same time, my the other journey of my being single mom, taking care of my kids also started. So it's more of, I can tell, it's not like, okay, being a single mom, how the society will accept. Because luckily, if I have to tell you, Grishma, I had a beautiful family, I had a great moral support from my brother, my sister, and all my relatives and friends. I never felt that I went through that phase. But definitely, it's not about the external things which mattered a lot for me. It was more of me, my internal journey.
Yes.
I had I had the fear how the society will accept. I had the fear that how society will accept my kids. I had the fear of taking action. What if I start taking the steps, like if I, as I was telling you, I wanted to start something on my own. What if I fail? I had the fear of, okay, what if I have a lack of support? So that internal journey was like a little heck too much for me. It took years, but as my exploration never stopped there. I was just seeking people. I was approaching people to understand what are the different ways. As I was telling you, as I started meeting people, I came across some beautiful human beings in my life who were like guide, who were like mentors, who told that it's a normal thing right now. It's not like you did not like that, so now you're fine. You are handling, and they were literally proud of me. In fact, handling the things beautifully,
Yes.
and it. And for me, I think most of the women, those who are single parent, I would like to share that it's not about, because people get carried away with how the society, the others will look at you. It's not about them. It's about you, because you are thinking that they will look at you like that. It's not like that. It's you start looking things differently, then automatic change your perspective. If I have to tell you,
Yes.
once you change your perspective, automatically the things will start. You look the good things in your life.
Absolutely.
So my journey being a single mom was definitely interesting and very wonderful. And I'm happy with the way it is. I accept the way the life has given to me, and I never thought that it was okay. It was a big challenge, but yeah, it was interesting and a wonderful journey, Krishma.
Wonderful. So, how long has it been since you were a single mother?
It's been more than 15 years, and I think 2018 is what my husband passed away. And yeah, I think it's 15 years we were separated.
15 years. All right. Okay. And after which you took on the initiative, and I think it made you strong as a person because you learned to balance it out. So,
Yeah,
between your everything. Yeah, go ahead.
no, that definitely, because during this journey, I think I lost my parents. I lost my both the parents. In fact, my mom passed away almost 16 years back. Father passed away around 9 years back. And the more I was losing people, the more challenges life was throwing on me. I became more resilient. I became emotionally very strong, and I accepted it is life, right? Life
Right.
has to, because once we accept and start doing, be in the present moment, because
Yes.
what is there now is now, it's real, right? What
Yes.
is not there is past, and future I don't have to worry. I don't know how it would be. I started enjoying the process of today. And once I started doing that, Krishma, I think things started changing. I think
One.
you would have heard, be in the present moment, enjoy this moment, right? So once we are there in this current moment, right now I'm talking to you, you are not thinking about anything else. You're just listening to me what Chetna is sharing,
Yes.
right? And that's it, right? If you start thinking about yesterday, or if you start thinking about tomorrow, what how to edit this or how to post this, you can't be here completely, because this episode will go for a task, right? So
Absolutely.
being in present, enjoying that to the process of today is what changed a lot in my life. Of course, it has made me emotionally strong, resilient. Any situation comes, I'm very flexible to move and go ahead.
That's awesome. I think it's very inspiring, and I'm sure your kids also help you and support you in every way. That's
Yeah.
something that even in their side, I see it from their perspective also as kids, because it does affect their environment also growing up. So somewhere even they are getting strong as kids, and they're supporting their mother as well. So how do they take it? How are they supporting you? How are they enjoying the process of this?
I think as you are aware that kids follow what parents do, right? Kids don't follow what they preach, but kids follow what the parents do. And definitely the kind of environment what we have among three of us is like more of openness, more of value, more of end of the day. I We should be happy is what
Yes,
we have. So whatever you do, whether you're working, not working, whether you're studying, not studying, whether you have some challenge or whether you don't have anything, but end of the day, whether you're happy, whether you are stick to your values, right? Whether you are truthful, right? So these are the few things I think which I have tried to imbibe with. Follow myself first. I think automatically they have been following it. What I do,
fantastic.
and they're happy. They're happy with the kind of family. And in fact, my daughter twice she had told, "I'm proud of you, mom, because." neither many of my friends have both the parents, but they're not so happy, they're not so free, freedom to take decision,
Yeah.
they're not so free to have that take that choice. I mean, that take decision taking is what where they
Yes.
fail a lot. So
Yes.
I really felt okay, fine, I've done some work.
That's wonderful, Chetana. I'm very fortunate that I made a podcast with you because I learned a lot myself, and I'm sure the viewers enjoyed uh, learning about your journey of where you've made it so far. Because I'm truly telling you, this is an inspiring one.
Thank
I Yeah,
you.
yeah. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you once again for joining me on this podcast and sharing your views. It does require a lot of courage to accept and also come forth with your experience, and you've been very transparent with it, which I really really appreciate, and I know the viewers will enjoy it. So one last thing, is there anything that you would like to share with the viewers, especially for all the single mothers out there? Anything that you would like to add or say, be it students or single
uh,
mothers or people in general?
yeah. I mean, what message I can share is every day try to be your truest, purest, highest form of your expression, right? Every day you should be your best version. That's it, what matters. Be it a single mom or a student or anybody who is listening. Try to work on yourself. Be what your best version every single day in your relationship, in your at your workplace, or whatever it might be. When you're at your best version, automatically you will be giving the same thing to others. So, and once you're giving, it comes back to you also.
Absolutely.
So try to be, not try, be your best version of yourself every single day. That's what it
Absolutely.
matters.
Yes, I agree with you. Thank you once again. I really hope that I get you back on my podcast again with another set of questions, another set of journey. Until then, bye and take care, Chetna. I wish you all the
Thanks a
very
lot.
best. Yeah. I'm sorry. I wish you all the very best for your podcast journey. It's been great. I've been listening to the voice. I think it's her voice. So please
Yeah.
continue doing it, and we would really, really listen to it. I would drop in all the links to your podcast in my profile as well, so people can have a look at it. Yes, Chetna, you were continue. Please continue.
I just wanted to say thank you, Grishma. You're doing a wonderful job, and I can see you because these are the initial years where you have to explore and do. I know be from engineering to HR and doing what you love. Actually, that matters a lot, right? So just continue doing that. My best wishes to you too, and thanks for inviting me. It was wonderful sharing my journey to in your platform.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much, Chetana. To all the viewers, do drop in all your comments and please have a look at her podcast. Until the next one, stay tuned and bye. Take care.
Bye.